Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic on Board Game Geek, welcoming you to another playthrough. This one I'm really super excited about. It is Conan by Monolith. It is the tactical board game, and we're going to play, I know everybody's seen this scenario a bunch of times. We're going to play the first scenario. I think it's called In the Clutches of the Picts. And we're going to go over that scenario right now and talk about the rules briefly. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the rules because you get to see it during gameplay, and that will save us some time and explanation. But I am going to cover a couple things. One, the rule book, I'm going to start right there. Rule book is not fantastic. It has some issues. I got through most of it, but I did find something on BGG, and I can't remember who did it, so I'm sorry because I printed them out and then closed it. These scenario clarifications 1.0, skill clarifications 1.0, and rules reminders. Very useful little thing to print out there, and if somebody remembers or knows the person that did it real quick while I'm filming, please tell me. I'll try and get them credit for that. Anyway, we are completely set up. You're seeing most of the game board here. We have our heroes. I'm going to go over them very briefly and the items they carry. I'm going to talk about skills briefly, talk about how the turn works, and then we're going to go. So to start off with, this scenario has to deal with us saving somebody, of course. So I'm going to read the, this is the Overlord's book. Remember, this is a one versus many game. So you play both the heroes and then someone else plays the Overlord. And in this one, you can see that this is a scenario that can take 4 to 5 characters. We're playing with 3, so it's going to be interesting. And it's also an easy one, so it should be okay. It says, with the echoing war drums of the Pict tribes settled beyond the Black River and the increased frequency of incursions up to the Thunder River, many settlers flee the Kanohara territory for the safer lands of the Kingdom of Aquilonia. While scouting along the border to aid Vilanus, the commander of Fort Tusculum, Conan bears witness to a massacre of a column of refugees from Bilitrium. The Picts withdraw victoriously with a female prisoner who Conan recognizes as Yazelda, the daughter of the city governor. The Sumerian knows that Yazelda's life can now be measured in mere hours, as she will shortly be sacrificed on the altar of Jebel Sag, the Lord of Beasts. Back in Fort Tusculum, Conan assembles a small group of experienced warriors to rescue the governor's daughter, and at Vilanus' request, bring back the head of Zogar Sag. That's our story, and here's our setup. So to win the game, if one or more of our heroes have fled the village with Yazelda and Zogar's head, Yazelda is returned safely to their father heroes, and we win the game. At the end of the 8 rounds, if we have not succeeded at getting her and one of our players out the board, the Picts arrive en masse, and we lose and die. Yeah, that's Conan for you, right? Now, by the way, I'm a huge Conan fan. I can't begin to tell you that. In fact, I'm putting something up on the screen right now for you to see. It's a picture of something that hangs on my wall, which is actually the first, the #1 issue of Conan the Barbarian from back in the 1960s. It's mounted under glass on my wall in a frame. It's cool. That's how big a fan of Conan I am. So, geeking out a little bit. Now, again, I'm not, excuse me, I'm not going over all the rules in this. I'm just going to go over some key points. So, we're going to start by taking character actions. There's still a little bit of setup that we have to do. And in this scenario, the Overlord places these tokens down on these tokens down here to represent the huts. Actually takes one of the tokens and places it on his board. The huts are numbered in the book, which represents where the princess is being held captive. Being that I don't want to know where she's being held captive, I got out. That's a D10. I got to get me a D8. I got out an 8-sided die to represent the forts, the huts that are on the board. There's 8 of them, and that means we're going to roll. We're going to know what the number is, but I'm going to randomize the numbers of the huts. I got some tokens here that I can do that with, and they are all sitting right here. So I'm going to flip them over, start to, and then shuffle them around and place them out on the huts. Okay, let me just, I'm shuffling them here for you so you can see. It's going to be the last bit of our setup. I already lost track, so that's good. And then we're just going to take one, we'll place this one over here, this one up here, this one right here, this one over here, this one here, this one here, this one here, and this one here. So I don't know which ones are which. When we go into them, we'll uncover them and see if we get lucky. So here's the D8. We roll it. So it's going to be number 8 is going to be where our princess is. She's in hut number 8, which is mysteriously labeled. So I did have to make that adjustment to the game rules. That's not how you normally set this scenario up. Now, this board here serves 2 purposes. It serves as our round marker. I use this token just because it looked cool as a round token. I think there is one in there, but I don't know. And we're going to count down. We have 8 rounds to solve this. Now, 8 rounds represent the players taking all of their actions, and then the overlord taking their actions in turn. And then the reason this snake symbol is here is there's a big giant snake on the board, and this represents his hit points. He has actually 8 health. And then this is Zogar Sag, and he has 5 health. So that is on the 5 health marker. So this plays dual role. It's our turn tracker, and there's also some health for some of the worst monsters, because the other ones just have 1 armor and then they have 1 life point. So, well, some of them have 2 armor, maybe even 3 armor, but they don't have more than 1 life point. So that being said, that's our turn marker, and that's our counter. This little deck of cards here are the items. I've already shuffled them up and placed the chests out. If we can use our complex manipulation skills to open a chest, then we can get an item out of it and use it. Okay, now we're going to go over the Book of Skelos real quick, which is the Overlord's book. This is one of the unique things of the game I think is really cool. This is the Book of Skelos. These are the action points that I have available to me as the Overlord. There's already 3 in our fatigue. At the beginning of the turn, I get to transfer several back. It won't happen on the first turn, obviously, because we've got 3 over there. And this is how these here is the cost of the of activating these guys in turn. So if I activate, you may have seen this in other videos, but if I activate these picked hunters right here that are blue, and they're marked with blue, those specific ones are marked with blue bases on the board, I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to now shift him to the back. Now he costs 8, and Zogar Sag is going to cost 1. Okay, now that's how that works, and that's how we activate our creatures during our turn. We also can spend gems on extra movement, extra defense, and rerolls. Okay, but let's talk about a tile real quick so you know what a monster does. Okay, we have a special ability here. It's jump. He can jump if he needs to. This is his base movement. It's 2. Now, again, I can spend extra gems on additional movement if I need to. This is his base defense. He's got a 1 armor, and when he attacks with 2 yellow dice, and he's worth 1 reinforcement point. So if we reinforce, when we get there's 1 opportunity of reinforcement. I'll tell you how that works in a second. And he costs 1 if we use him to reinforce for every figure that we reinforce from that group. Now, how do we reinforce? We have to take this event token, and once we spend for the event token, we're going to reinforce. There's 3 reinforcement flames on the board in certain spots, and that means that whatever we reinforce, it's going to come in there, or however many we reinforce. And that is now. Then we're going to get to recover a number. Now, when we're finished with our turn, they all go into the fatigue area, and then they recover back the next turn. That's how that works. That gives us a rotating, revolving turn. Now, let's go to, let's take a look at Zogar Sag for just a second, because he has a special ability I'd like to point out. That is spell casting. It's that one right there. He can cast spells. He also is really nasty. He does 2 red dice, which are better than the yellow dice, when he swings his weapon, which is apparently some kind of tribal spear. But he does have a magic spell skill. So let's take a look at this. It says he's a spellcaster. This character can have and cast spells. Now, in this scenario, it doesn't say that he has any spells. So I don't know that he has any. Right now, I'm just going to assume all he can attack with is a spear. He's still pretty tough. And as I look at the scenario, it says nothing about him having any spells at all. So I'm going to take the assumption that he does not have spells. See, here he is in the book. And it doesn't say anything. When I look at this, it doesn't say anything. It just says, when Zogar Sag dies, place his life point marker in the area in which he died. That marker represents his head and counts as an object with an encumbrance value of 2. Yes, encumbrance is important. Okay, now let's take a look at, well, while we're here, we'll take a look at the special rules for the scenario. We have to flee the village with, what's her name in our hand? We can flee the governor's daughter. We can flee from any of the special locations on the board, no problem. Or any of the edge locations where we can exit. It's mainly where those tokens are. So I think it says any hero can flee the village from any area at the edge of the board by spending a movement point. Okay. The hut flaps. We must spend an extra movement point to cross the border into the hut flaps. It means we have to duck under it. We can climb over the rubble that's on the board. I'll show you what that is, and we can open chests. I'll show you what that is. But we also have a special ability that Conan gets to use, that he has a skill for, and I'll show you that next. I'm going to talk about their skills. Okay, here's Conan, just adjusting a little bit, and if you've watched anything on this, you'll recognize the sheet. Now, what does it show us on him? Well, it has his portrait, obviously, and his name. In that box says 11. That means he has 11 gems. Now, in this scenario, we're going to take 3, 4, 5, and put them in the fatigue zone. This middle one's fatigue, this is wounds. The reason we do that is the scenario calls for it, because we had to make this trek through the jungle to this village, so we're a little fatigued when we get there. Now, he's got 2 stances that he can pick, aggressive and defensive. If he picks aggressive, when it's his time to get gems back, he's only going to get 2. If he's defensive, he gets 5. And that's going to change based on if we lose heroes, you actually start getting more back. That's how that works. Now, he's got some baseline skills. He's got his fighting skill, which gives him, if he's unarmed, he uses a red die, but there's a penalty. And he can place more gems in there to add more dice to his attack, and he up to 5. He can do up to 5 total in this box. Okay, and he has an axe to go along with it that gives him a +1 red die, and it has an encumbrance of 3, so he's already got some encumbrance on him. He doesn't really start getting any penalties until he hits, it looks like this first penalty is swimming at 6. Not worried about that. He's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 already. So if he takes another item, it's going to start slowing him down, but he's okay. We'll talk about his other items in a second. Let's talk about his abilities. So this is swim, this is leap. That other green one there is, let me see, and we got these cool skill cards, right? Oh, climb. So back up, he's got the climb skill right there, and then he's also got it's a running skill, I think. Well, let me see, what is that? I don't see that on here. Boop. That's in French. Well, he has another one, but I don't see it. It's this one here. I'll have to look that up and see, but it is not on this sheet right here. Oh, that's to show, okay, is a movement penalty. Sorry, this one here is the movement penalty for his encumbrance. -1 at 8 and -2 at 10 to his movement. He's got a baseline movement of 2. That's what this is. He can put gems, up to 4 more gems in here to increase his movement by 1 space each. That's how all these boxes work, basically, except for these 2. So again, archery, he can shoot a bow if he has one. If he has no range weapon, he can't do any archery. His axe actually can be thrown, but when he throws it, he drops it. That's not good. Okay, so he's probably not going to do much of that unless we're desperate or something bad's happening. This is his manipulation skill. He gets a red die, and he can put up to 3 there. That's not his focus, his best ability, but it's still okay. Looks like everybody's about the same on that. Okay, now he has a special abilities. This red one here, which shows an axe, and if you look on the attack skills bonuses right here, see if that focuses. Yeah, it's focused. Okay, it's right here. It says circular strike. When the character kills an enemy character with a 2-handed melee attack, another enemy character in the same area suffers excess damage from the attack. If that character is killed, repeat the process. So he can continue to swing and just kill everything around him. That's Conan. Now, if he takes wounds, these gems go into here, and he can no longer recover them without some form of healing. There's healing in the chests, by the way. Okay, now, these last 2 items, he's got leather armor. Now, this gives him a natural yellow die in defense. Otherwise, if he wants more dice to defend with, he has to block, and that will add to it, but he's going to have to block using this ability, which he can move gems into there to block, roll additional dice to block attacks. Okay, and then he's got a shield, which gives him when he does do that, when he does block, he gets an extra die right there. Okay, that's him. Okay, now Shivatas, his buddy. Now, Shivatas he's like a thief. Anyway, he's got some cool abilities. One is, first off, you see his baseline skills. He can only put up 4. You saw that Conan could have 5 additional points in here for attack. He can only do 4. He's the same in archery. He's his same in movement, except he's got a base movement of 3, so he's faster than Conan. And he's got a 3 manipulation. Now his abilities are, you see that he can, his encumbrance is a 10 instead of total of a 10 instead of a 12 like Conan, and his baseline is only a 6, so he's a little different. This ability here, that first one is good. I think that's the one that allows him to evade. So yeah, it's evasive. So if you see that, it says the character can move as if there were no enemy characters in the character's area. Because we get, I think it's called, oh, forgetting the terms already. I want to say it's called, okay, let me get this out, hindering. So we can be hindered, which will slow us down and cause us problems with our dice rolls, except for combat rolls, things like that. That's what that one, this one does. Now he's got a second one there that's blue. I believe that is a defensive ability, and it is right here. Boom. And it says, sorry, it's this one here. It says untouchable. When this character defends against a ranged attack, their armor value is increased by 1 for that defense. That means he automatically gets a point of armor against ranged attacks. And he's got some items. He's got this Chris knife, which gives him +1 yellow dice in a fight. He can also throw it for +1, but he loses it. Then he's got throwing knives. Now he can continue to throw these. He doesn't lose them. It gives him a yellow die to attack, and he uses his archery skill. This has a, right now he's only got an encumbrance of 1, so he can pick up some stuff. Alright, now we're going to go to the interesting character. And again, he has 10 gems, blah, blah, blah. We got to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 over for him. Now we're going to go back, we're going to go to the last character in this group. This is Hadrathis. He's a spellcaster. You can see he's got that ability right here. He's also got meditation. Meditation gives him, let's see, where's that one? Meditation, or concentration rather. It's right here. It gives him, it says concentration to characters' die rolls are not affected by hindering. That's good. He can always not hinder because he casts spells. Now he already has one up. Right now it's active. It's called Mitra's Halo. Your armor value is increased by 2. This effect ends when you change from cautious to aggressive, or when you your group is activated. Okay, so cautious to aggressive, that's the stances. Right now he is in aggressive. But he does start with this in case he gets attacked in the first round before something happens. Now he's also got another spell. He's got Lightning Storm, which does a lot of damage. And I'll explain how the spells work as we play. He's got Teleportation. Obvious what that does. Allows him to teleport. And he's got a Dagger, which he can use as a melee weapon or throw it. Encumbrance of 1. Those are our characters. Now, what are we going to do next? I think we can just start playing. Let's do that. Now, over there in that corner is Shivatis' figure. This is him right here. He's cool looking. He's like almost, I think he's like an African warrior, a very powerful looking dude with his crease knife. He's stealthy. He starts in this space right here at this gate to the village. And I think what he's going to do, now remember the tent flat blocks for movement. He's got a 3. It takes 2 to move into a room. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have him move there. We're going to have him move there. And that's going to be his entire 3 movement. He's not going to spend any other gems on movement. And then he's going to attack. We're going to say that's hut number 2, so we know that the princess is not there. That would have made for an easy victory. If I find it that quickly, I would have probably done something different. But anyway, he is right there where he is going to start doing some attacks. Now remember, we can keep going until we're done. But the dogs, the hyenas, they have 0 armor. So if he hits them, they die. Let's go look at his board now. Actually, we should do things in order, so I'm just going to run through the turn order with you. We have the start phase. If we had any gems we had spent here, we'd move them into our fatigue zone immediately. Then we'd go to our stance phase. We'd pick our stance. He's obviously going to pick an aggressive stance because he wants to attack. If you pick a not aggressive stance, cautious stance, you can only defend or reroll dice. So he's definitely not doing that. And so basically then we go into our action phase and then our end phase. The action phase is when we do all our actions. In the end phase we get to remove all the gems back from our fatigue zone. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to start with, let's see, we're just going to start with, we'll start with 1 attack there and go kill one of those hyenas and see if we can do it. Okay, so this is how this is going to work. Right now he's got 1 red die because he spent 1 of his gems to activate the red die. And then he's got his crease knife, which gives him a yellow die. So he's going to have 2 dice to roll on this. These are them. and they have a bunch of hits on them and stuff. And these arrows are just for color. I think they're for colorblind people to show this one's a yellow die and this one's a red die. Anyway, we're going to roll the dice, and he's going to attempt to kill one of those beasties. Wow, he more than killed it. So this dog, this hyena, pretty cool looking hyena, right, has been killed outright. Now, we're not done. He can keep spending gems, and he's going to do that. Okay, so he'll spend another gem, just one more, because we want to save him for trying to open a chest, I think. He's going to do that and go back and attack the dog again, or the other dog, rather. And here he is. We're going to roll again with his crease knife. He's killing. He stealthed in. He snuck into the hut there. There were two sleeping hyenas, and he's trying to kill them before they wake. Oh, he missed. That is bad. So I guess we're going to spend a third gem. I'm just going to do it off screen because he's not going to want to waste that. He's going to attack again. He's running out of gems. He's only got 2 left. And he got 1 hit on the red die. That's enough to kill it because it has no armor. And it has 1 hit. Okay, that was the 2 hyenas there. Now, how many dice does he want to roll to open the chest? Let's see. Let me think about it. Okay, so the fine manipulation skill, unless it states otherwise, to open a chest requires 2 successes. So I think he might as well. He's going to get him. Well, if he gets attacked, he's in trouble. He needs at least 1. He wants to keep 1 for defense because he's got no armor. So he will spend 1 more. This is dangerous, to attempt to open this chest because it might have armor in it. That'd be really helpful. Okay. Oh man, he succeeded. He got 2 exactly. So he succeeded at opening this chest. So we're going to take this chest off the board. I'm going to shuffle up the items real quick. I did shuffle them, but just so you know, it's randomized. Okay, and then boom, we'll cut them. And what did he get? He got a life potion. Okay, it's encumbrance 0 and allows him to recover 2 damage. So he took that, and that's the end of his turn. That's going to be it for him. Now that because he wants to keep that last gem around. Now that does not mean that the Overlord goes now. That means that one of the other players gets to go. Okay, here up at the top of the board we have Conan himself, and I think we're going to run him next. There he is with his big sword. He's going to go in. He's up here in this space here. He can run into the village. Now, obviously our mission is to get to the princess, or the governor's daughter rather, and save her from the evil Picts. But we also need to kill this big bad guy, and I think that's going to be his focus. So he's only got a movement of 2, base movement of 1, 2. So we're going to spend 1 of his gems. He doesn't have a whole bunch left to move 1 more. Boom. I put that in his movement spot. So he can move to here, and he's going to attack that picked warrior right there. And I'll show you him. This is the picked warrior. Now this warrior has 2 armor, so he's a little harder to kill, and he's got some special abilities. I just want to make sure none of the special abilities are going to hinder Conan attacking. Blocking. Enemy characters without evasive cannot move out of this character's area, so we have to kill him because he has the special ability of blocking. But we want to anyway. So Conan, I think, he's got to do 3 hits total. He is going to put 2 gems in there. That will give him 3 total dice against. Yeah, he'll do that. He'll put 2 gems into his attack skill. That's going to give him 3 total dice. They'll all be red because his axe gives him a red die. Okay, here we go. We're going to roll these awesome red dice to see if he can kill this big brute that's here facing him right now. And man, he rolled 4 total hits, so he succeeded and killed this brute. Boom. That is another one down. That is not good for the bad guy already. Conan did that. Now he's going to end his actions right there because he wants to keep currently some crystals in reserve, as he will not be able to. I got to look at this again. I want to make sure if it's not worthwhile to spend them all right now during the hero turn, because it may not matter. At the end phase, we are going to, each hero moves all gems from their action spaces to their fatigue zone. Okay, but it's at the beginning phase, so he definitely wants to save some, because the start phase is when he's going to move all gems from, hold on. Each hero moves all gems from their action space to their fatigue zone. And then in the stance phase, their choice, that's when they move from their fatigue zone to their reserve. And then at the end phase, they move all their gems from the their fatigue zone as well. So they get 2 points where they're moving gems from their to their fatigue zone, but only 1 chance, and that's during the stance phase where they get to move them into reserve again. So he's going to hold on to 3 for defense in case the Overlord player decides to mob him. Okay, now though we're going to have Hadrathis. Now Hadrathis had a spell up. It's going to go away because he did pick an aggressive stance, so that he can move. He's got a movement of 2 as well, and I believe he will teleportation. Can teleport. I wonder if teleportation. See, there's some things in the rules like this, for example. For each gem assigned, move your model to an adjacent space. I have to assume it doesn't say line of sight. Assign a number of gems from your reserve zone to each card. For each gem assigned, move your model to an adjacent space. So I have to assume that he can teleport. This is him down here. He could technically teleport into a location without any problem. So I'm debating. He's not as tough. Like, he doesn't have any armor. He can block, but and he's got his lightning strike. It's an area attack. I have to have line of sight, so I technically cannot shoot through the flap of the tents, I imagine. I guess they block, because in this version of it says the tent flaps are an obstacle. So I have to assume we're going to have to wait till people come outside. Sorry, outside. Now again, he's got 5 of his gems in the fatigue zone as well. So you know what? We would have gotten them back. A couple of them back. I'm still learning a little bit about this game. And so, excuse me. So Conan would actually have 5 total in reserve, which is fine. Shivadas would have 3 total. And right now, because sorry, God, guys, I'm choking on something. Okay, my apologies. All right, so, and Shivadas would have had 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 in his, because when we picked our stance, we would have gotten 2 back. So I took care of that. So what does he want to do? He wants to wait till some of the creatures are lowered outside so he can use lightning. He could go in and start attacking something, but he's not that tough, and I'm worried about mobs, but we do need to find the princess. Okay, I think there's stuff in chests too, which are good. Let me see, what will he do? I think he will... Man, he can get attacked if he's not careful, but he can defend a lot too. I think he's going to go to here. He'll go 1, 2, that's his base movement. And since he deactivated this, he'll spend 3 gems, that's what the cost is, and it's a maximum of 3, to put this back up, and increases your armor value by 2. So he's going to recast this for 3 gems. Because remember, if you take when you change from cautious to aggressive, or when your group is activated, well, he just was activated, so he lost that spell, but he put it back up, so I moved 3 gems to that, and he now has an extra armor value in case he gets mobbed. So he cast his Mitra's Halo on himself. He might get mobbed because he's in the middle of a whole bunch of stuff right there. Okay, now that does actually mark the end of our player's first turn. So the Overlord gets to go now. Okay, so the first thing that the Overlord does is he recovers an amount equal to that into his reserve at the beginning of his turn. Then we move, this is the actual marker for the turn. We'll go to the board, and we will move this to here. Okay. Alright, that is that. Now, well, hold on, did I make a mistake? I think, sorry, still, like I said, I'm still getting used to the turn order. I think I need to move at the end phase for the heroes. Yeah, I need to move their action tokens into the fatigue zone. Let's do that. Sorry, this is my learning session of the game, but we're going to take all the gems that we did on things, and we're going to put them in our fatigue zones. So I'm doing that for all the players, and now they don't get to move those again until the stance turn of next phase, depending on which stance they take. But I still do have this Mitra's Halo active. Okay, now let's go back to the Overlord's turn. During our turn, we get to activate 2 tiles in the river. Okay. So I think we're going to start by activating, we're going to spend 3 gems to activate our warriors here. So that's 1, 2, and 3 that go over there. We're going to activate the purple warriors, and there's 2 of them left on the board. They have a movement of 2. So this one is going to go to here, and this one's going to go 1, 2 to here, in which then they'll attack. So the attack value of the warriors is 1 red die. Now I can spend more on... No, I can't. That's on defense. It's just going to be a red die. But remember, we have armor. Now Conan, I think he's just going to take the hit. He's not going... we have to decide whether or not we're going to block this. I think knowing that the picked warrior just has 1 red die, he's just going to take the hit as the warrior swings his big hammer. So we'll start with Conan. Conan's got both a shield. Now he doesn't get the effect of the shield unless he blocks, but he's not going to. He's just going to take the armor, I think. That's a yellow die. We'll see. He might take some damage. That could be bad for us. Oh, crud. He'll spend 1 of his gems to defend because that will give him his shield and an extra red die. So he spent 1 gem to defend against this bad guy here. So this bad guy rolls. He actually missed. So whoosh, caused Conan to spend 1 of his gems. That was good. Now we're over here with Hadrathus, who's got an armor value of 2 currently. So I think he's just going to let this picked warrior attack him as well. The picked warrior gets 1 die. So let's roll that and see what they get. A 1. So he did not penetrate Hadrathus's Mitros Halo armor. So it bounced off the glowing purple shield that's around Hadrathus. Bang! Nothing happens. That wasn't good, but that was only the first activation of our guy. I could activate Zogar Sag. He's got 3 movement and 3 defense. He could actually get out and attack Conan. And that would give him, I mean, he's going to roll 2 red dice. That would cause Conan to have to defend again. I think, yeah. So I think that's what we're going to do. I mean, it seems to me like strategically defending isn't, spending those gems right now isn't going to matter because based on the turn order, we're going to get them back. So we're going to get them back before we have to worry about it. We just have, it's just how many do we have to spend. So maybe he'll pop something that can bring out a whole bunch of things. Like these red picked warriors, though the red ones are going to cost us 7 right now, so that's a bad deal. Maybe the hyenas. They have a movement of 5, they can get practically anywhere on the board. They could go mob Hadrathus or Conan. Okay, but they only get 1 red die, so Hadrathus, I don't think they're going to want to attack him right now. So, but if I look at the hero's turns, the start phase, each hero moves all gems from the action space. So yeah, it's just really a matter of how many they get to spend. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to activate, that's going to cost 4 gems. We're only going to get 5 back. I could activate, let me show you, these 3 here that could come out and just attack him, but that's not as valuable. They only got a movement of 2, so they can't get to Conan. The dogs, however, can. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to spend 4. 1, 2, well, you know, if we move all these guys out to Hadrathus, he won't be able, he'll be, whatever they call it, I'm blanking out on the term again, not entangled, you know what I'm saying, guys? He'll be hindered. He'll be hindered there by all the people. He's already hindered by 1 guy. If I move these blue guys out, and I can move all of them, there's more than 1 to move. I could actually head 1 toward Hadrathus, or to Shavatus too. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to actually activate the blue guys, which are only going to cost us 1 gem. Oh, wait. Before we do that, this guy moves in the river to 8 here, because we reactivated them. And now we're going to activate the blue guys here for 1 gem. And that's going to push them up to 8. So we're going to do that. Now let's go to the board. Okay, so we're going to try to attack Hadrathus. There's a chance that they can do some damage to him. So all 3 of these guys are going to step out to here. These are cool looking, they're picked warriors. And they're going to attack Hadrathus. That's his miniature. He's a mage. Someone said about the quality of miniatures, I think they're fine. Anyway, that's going to be 3 separate attacks on him. Okay, let me think. Yeah, so they're going to attack 1 at a time. They have 2 yellow dice, so let me get those. Okay, so this first one here is going to attack He whiffed, got nothing. The second one here is going to attack. He got 2, which bounces off the Mitra's Halo, and then the third one's going to attack. I'm trying to get a 3, he just got 1, so no good there. They all attack, but they are hindering the heck out of Hydrathus, who does not have the ability to get by them. And then we have one here. He's going to go 1, 2, and maybe start heading toward. He hears the ruckus in the other hut where the 2 dogs were slain brutally, the hyenas, and he's going to go check that out. Okay, that's going to be the end of the Overlord's action phase. And I'm looking at the book just to make sure I'm doing it right. And again, this is my learning session, guys. You can tell I just got this game in the mail. So I read the rules, I've watched some videos, I've been excited about playing this, and now I am. But it's taking me a couple extra steps just to make sure that we get to do what we want. Okay, that's it. So once we've activated our units, then we are done, and we've moved them in the river as appropriate, and we do not get to recover. We're going to recover all of our tokens next turn, but now we're going to go back to the hero's turn. Okay, so Conan is, so the first thing we do during the start phase is we move his 1 token he spent on defense back to here. Then we're going to recover. He's going to pick a stance. This turn he's already got enemies with him, so he's not going to pick a passive stance. He could defend and regain a bunch of gems. He could regain 5. He has a chance of being mobbed. He might actually, well, we only got so many turns too. Got to keep moving, keep moving. He'll this turn he'll stay in an aggressive stance, which means he only recovers 2 gems. And now we'll go on to Shivatus. Shivatus is going to, he doesn't have anything there. He is, I think he's going to take a passive stance, so he can get 5 gems back. There's 3, 4, 5. That's awesome for him. And then now we got Hydrathus. Okay, so Hydrathus, he could maintain this if he took a passive stance and gained 5 gems back. He's going to get attacked, but he's not all that worried about this. Armor really protected him well, and he can still spend a point on defense. So he too is going to recover this turn. After their initial assault, he'll get 2, because he's going to need to do a lightning strike. It's going to have to be big. Or he could do that. He could get 2 back and do a lightning strike and kill everything in his space. That's a possibility too. Nope. He'll... yeah, he's going to do it. So he'll lose. I mean, he better kill him. Nope. He's going to play it safe. 2, 4, 5. That'll give him lots of gems for his next turn. So the only one that's taking an aggressive position this turn is Conan. Now, as I understand it, if he attacks, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. If he attacks, all his movement goes away. So I think that's even on heroes. Whilst you can move before or after you perform actions, the first movement you perform must be using your free movement. Any action performed will end that free movement. So yeah, he can move after, but he's not going to be able to move for free, and he needs to do some of that. So first off, he's going to attack the he's going to take an action first, because to move out he would be hindered, which would cost him an extra gem anyway to move. So he might as well use it to attack. He's going to attack the picked warrior that's in that space with 1 of his gems only. That's going to go into his attack space. That's going to give him 2 red dice against that picked warrior. Oh man, he totally killed the guy. Boom. Now though, to move, he's going to have to use fatigue to do that. So I think he'll take... Oh wait, what's his wall breaker ability do? I think if he spends 2 fatigue, he can break right into that hut with those picks, and he might just do that. The wall breaker, looking it up. Where is it? A wall wrecker. The character can spend 2 movement points to move across a wall or wooden door from one area to the adjacent area and place an opening token on that obstacle. Treat the opening token as a border that does not block line of sight. Okay, so I think he's going to do that. He's going to spend 2 of his tokens, boom, to use his special ability of Wall Breaker. Let's put them in his fatigue zone, which means he's going to break through this wall here into this hut. Okay, here is one of the tokens for that. So he busted through this wall. He's still got some dice. He could spend he still has his other ability as well. He could take all those guys out. But first, let's flip the token. It's a 3, so it's not an 8. We have not found the princess yet. He could use his circular strike when the character kills an enemy character with a two-handed melee attack, which I believe is his battle axe, right? That would be silly to get started with that ability and not a weapon that can do it. How do you know if it's two-handed? I don't see that anywhere. So let me look at that. Okay, a two-handed weapon is a weapon with a weight of 3 or more. His battle axe is 3, so he actually does have that. So he's just going to spend 1 gem, that'll leave him with 2 to defend with, in his attack zone. And he can spend up to 5, remember, but that's going to give him 2 dice against the first guy. So he'll hit this guy first, this warrior here, see what he gets. Oh, bummer, he missed. So that means his circular strike was not effective. That is a bummer. Okay, when a character does it cost me anything extra? I may not have been able to do that. No, it does not. Just when this character kills an enemy, it's just automatic. So, but he missed, so he would have to spend another gem. You know, the Overlord's going to get to attack him with 3 guys. Now, they're right now it would cost the Overlord 5, but it'd be worth it to bring some pain to Conan to do that. So I think Conan's going to keep those around for defense. His last 2 gems. Not a very good turn, and we also know that we did not find the princess. Okay, so you know, Hadrathas was safe doing that actually, because the only one that, if the Overlord activates any of those groups, it would cost him too much right now. But we are going to go back to the Overlord's turn. Oh wait, at the end of the turn, we move everything into fatigue zones that got spent. The only one that spent anything was Conan, so these go there. Boom, done. That's it. Conan's going to have to take a defensive stance next turn because he's got to recover more than 2 fatigue or he won't be able to, well, not really. If he just stays in there and attacks and kills those guys, that would be okay. But what are we going to do? Okay. Alright, so we got Zogar Sog, who's a 1 right now. We got the Hyenas are a 2. We could activate them cheaply. It would cost me 8 to activate, no, 5 to activate the ones in Conan's space. So first off, we're going to get 5 back. We had 4 in the reserve, so that's what we got all those back. So we have plenty. I think what we're going to do is we're going to, let's focus better on this. Okay, we're going to spend 5. So I think we are going to attack Conan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'll activate these fellows here. Boom, and now they got movement of 2, but we don't have to worry about their movement. They get to attack with 2 yellow dice against Conan. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now Conan can choose to defend against any one of them. He's got his shield. Let's go back to the board and see what's going to happen here. So Conan finds himself surrounded by picks. I'm going to be thematic here and have them face off. Okay, they are going to attack him. I think for the first one, you know, with those 2 yellow dice, I think he's just going to take the first hit. He'll wait and see what happens. So the first of the guys is attacked with the 2 yellow dice. He gets 1 hit, which bounces off of, well, hold on, we got to roll for that. He gets a yellow dice in defense from the leather armor, because he did not defend himself, so he just has to roll. Boom, and he did. He succeeded. Okay, so it bounced off his armor. The picked club did not hurt him. So then the second one's going to attack. He's going to do the same thing. 1 hit. So let's see if he stops the hit. He does with exactly 1 dice roll. So he did not. The leather armor protected him again. And the last one is going to strike again and whiffed and got nothing. Wasted opportunity by the Overlord. Bummer. Okay, now what do we do? What do we do? I could have Zogar Sag go. That might be useful. Because he could actually do some serious damage to Conan and make him at least use some of his fatigue stuff. I don't know. We also got the big giant snake who's a 4 right now. He could go after somebody as well, but I'd leave that room empty, and I don't want to do that yet. I already emptied out 1 room. I could activate the green warriors, but I don't want to do that either, actually. Could activate the event and bring in some reserves. I have 4 reserves, and I have right now 4 points in picked warriors that I could bring in. They cost 2 each to bring in. I cannot activate anybody twice. I think the best thing I could do would be to activate... Oh man, do I want to go after Conan with Zogar Sag? Because we need to kill him too. Maybe the snake. Let's do this. The snake's going to cost 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to activate the giant snake. Here he is. He's really tough. He gets 3 red dice, and he's got a movement of 3. So let's go see what he can do. So the opening is here. He's going to go... He cannot get there because that's too many movements. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can go 1, 2, and since this is an opening, 3 into here, and give Conan a walloping. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, having not played the game, but he is going to get to roll 3 red dice. Now Conan's going to decide to spend both of his crystals to defend his remaining crystals. He's going to get them back anyway. And that's going to give him 2 red dice and a yellow die in defense. So let's see what the snake does. So Conan raises his shield up for the first time. I guess it doesn't matter if the other weapon's two-handed. So he got 5 hits on that. Conan is going to get a yellow die, 2 red dice in defense. I think those are red. Oh wait, those are not red, they're orange. My bad. So he's going to get a orange die for defense, and because those colors are really close in the light, and let's see, I got to get the brighter light on the, okay, and an orange dice, so it's 2 orange dice. His shield is orange, not red. So he's going to get 2 orange and yellow. Let's see if he can stop 5 hits. Oh no, Conan took a brutal blow. He took 4 hits. That is rough, guys. So let's go to his board. Okay, we're going to zoom in a little bit on Conan here. He took 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. He cannot recover those without a healing potion or something. Conan is in trouble. Yeah, he is. And that is going to end the Overlord's turn. So that's the end of that. That's the beginning of the turn. The only one that did anything is Conan, so these 2 are going to move over there. He's got 0 gems right now. And gosh, this is awful for him. He is in trouble. Man, big trouble right there. He needs his buddy Savathus to come help him somehow. So, yeah, here's what we're going to do. So he has to do this. He will only get 2 gems back. It wouldn't help him much. He's going to take a passive stance, and that allows him to defend and reroll dice. So, you know, what I could have done, instead of taking all, well, he used both his crystals. Oh, I missed rolling an orange die. He should have got an extra orange die. Let me roll it right here for us so we can see it. It didn't matter. Didn't change a thing. He still missed. And he didn't have any dice for a reroll. So he's going to have to go to here and get 5 crystals back and just defend himself. There's 5. He's only got 7 left. Man, that is a bad start for me. I got to learn how to play this game better. Okay, now nobody else has any to recover. Except, okay, so now Zavathus is going to take a aggressive stance, which means he recovers his final 2, and Hadrathus, he too is going to take an aggressive stance because he's only got 1 more to recover, and then that deactivates that spell, but he knows what he's doing. He's going to blast the heck out of these guys. Okay, let's go to Savathus first. Also need to move that to 2. I've got to remember to do it at the beginning of the turn. Okay, we're going to take this one last turn. That's where we're going to end it for this session. But we're going to go with Savathus now. The door to that is right here. So he's going to move for 1. Now it says you can draw an imaginary line between the dots. That suggests that he does not have line of sight between here and here, if I understand that correctly. But that's okay because Savathus has a 3 movement. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to start doing some archery. He has his throwing knives. So he is going to spend 1 gem right now. Well, he'll spend Oh, he could do some nastiness and spend... No, he's going to try and get rid of some of the guys around Conan so Conan can get out. So remember, he has line of sight to this hole that Conan made when he burst through the wall. So he's going to spend one first and see how that goes. Out of the 4 he can spend on his archery attacks. That will give him a red die to attack with against one of the picked warriors. And his throwing knives gives him a yellow die. So he'll get those 2 to attack. He's attacking with throwing knives through there at the picked warriors. So let's see what he gets. He got 2 hits. Now, the Overlord can choose to defend against that. If he does, that would give him what? Well, they already have 1 armor, so that the 2 hits are going to kill it. Unless he can defend himself, because the 1 armor hits, the other one doesn't. He could use a defense. Does he want to? Sure, why not? He's gonna... he's not going to get very many gems back then. He's going to save those. He's not going to do it. So, because we got reserves coming. He killed one of the picked warriors there. So then Savathus is going to do that again. He's going to throw another knife into that room. Remember, Conan can only defend and reroll dice right now. So, whoa! Oh man, there's no sense in the Overlord attempting to defend against that massive hit. That's 3, 4, 5 hits. That kills another picked warrior. And then he will do it again. Let's do it again. Might as well try and get that last one. Now, the Overlord might defend against this one. Let's see. A 1. So actually that bounced off. He doesn't have to defend. So he did not kill the last one. Take it back. So Vathis is going to do a reroll. Why not? That'll be 3 gems. He can then reroll. And then I know what he's going to do next, too, after he does that. But let me look at the rerolls here. Just make sure I do it correctly. Reroll. A hero can perform a reroll action after rolling dice, but before finalizing the results of the roll. Okay, so he knows he missed. To perform a reroll, the hero assigns 1 or more gems from their reserve to their reroll space. The hero then rerolls that many dice. So I will only be able to roll 1 die. That would be the yellow die missed. He'll reroll that, the yellow die, and he missed again. So he's not going to bother to do anything more than that. Conan's going to have to deal with that. But he will then spend another 2 gems on movement. So I'm putting 2 gems in his movement space. And he's going to go 1, 2. Oh, that is the princess! He found her. Let's get her out. Okay, here she is. Boom. And we found her in that spot. So Savathis is going, come on, lady. But first, we're going to try and open that chest. So we're going to then spend 2 crystals to get 2 red dice to open the chest there and see what we get inside. He's going to do that. Well, he easily opened it, so he gets to draw another item card. And remember, he got the healing potion, which he needs to get to Conan. But all we got to do is get out of here with the princess to win, so I have to focus all of my attacks on Savathis now. Okay, boom. Explosive orb, that he can throw that for 2 red dice. It's pretty good, and it's not a high... it's only one encumbrance. And that's going to be it. He's not going to do anything more. So now we go to Hydrathus. Now, Hydrathus is going to use a spell, and it's going to be a powerful one. He's going to use his Lightning Storm. It says attack an area in your line of sight. If the attack power is greater than the defense power, the defender suffers damage equal to the difference. So he's going to attack the area he's in with that. That is going to cost him 3 of his crystals. Boom. And that's the most he can put on that. It's a 1, he can only do it once. Boom! And he is attacking his own space. So he's going to get to roll 2 of these dice. Oh man, look at that. Wow, so in an area attack, I've got to look that up again because it's unusual. And it's in the area attacks. Indicate that an effect is an area attack. When a character attacks an area, the character attacks each character in the specified area unless otherwise stated. The dice for an area attack are rolled once and applied to each attacker. Yeah, so rolled once. So he gets to blow up all 4 of these guys, it looks like. Is that? I'm going to look at my clarification sheet and see if that is true. Yeah, it looks like it is. Trying to look at area attacks. Looks like I'm looking at my cheat sheets. They really don't tell me much in this regards. That seems awfully powerful. But it does appear that that would be the case. I'm going to just double check. Ugh, some ambiguity in the rules. Okay, so the ambiguity is, does he hit himself? Because it specifies characters. He is a character. Would he have to defend against his own spell? I mean, he can. I mean, you could defend with 2 red dice, or 2 orange dice rather, and see what happens. I don't know that he would. That seems ridiculous. It does say within line of sight though, so if he had moved back, it would have cost him 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 gems. So here's what I'm going to do, just to play it safe. I'm going to say he moved here, which would have cost him, because he's got a movement of 2, and he's got 4 people in there, it would have cost him an extra 2 gems to do that. So I would have put that in the movement space, because that would have handled this hindrance. I think that seems reasonable, because I think he would. It says characters, so I think if he attacks all the characters in the space with the area spell, that would, sorry, bump the camera there, that would include him. It says hindering movement, 1 extra point per hinderer. So actually it would have cost him 3, because he wanted to move 1. So if he's got a movement of 2 with 4 people in space, he has 2 movement to block the others, and 1 to move 1 space away. Then he would have done his attack, and then I can safely say he killed all of those guys. Bluey! Too bad they don't get experience or anything. Just that. So that's pretty good. He did some effective stuff there. That is definitely going to end his turn. So at the end of the round, we're going to move everybody's stuff into their fatigue zone that they can. Conan doesn't have any. He's in bad shape. But Savathus does. He has a whole bunch. And Hadrathus had 3. What is it? Oh, sorry, 6 because of a spell he cast. So I moved them all to their fatigue zones, and we're going to end it there. We'll pick up the next turn with the Overlord, realizing that half the battle is almost done because one of the characters found the governor's daughter and is going to get her out. That's bad. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm sure I made a few mistakes. The rules are not wonderful, even though I printed out some cheat sheets. It's my only complaint. The game is beautiful. It's streamlined. I love the Book of Skelos and how it works. It's really cool. But I'm a little concerned about the rules, and I can't wait for Rules V2 to come out. It's not as bad as like the Myth rules were. I get most of it. I mean, I can play the game. I just ran into a couple of things and had to make some judgment calls, like Hadrathus throwing the spell, things like that. Also, I did get rid of a second chest. I got to take that off the board. Okay. And that's going to end it for now. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Tell me what you think of Conan. I think it's pretty cool. And I will talk to you soon.